Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well. Happy New Year and welcome to Kanikapila Mondays, a live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we're back! Yay! It seems like ages, doesn't it? I don't normally take off 2 weeks at Christmas, normally just a week, but it feels like ages since we've been together. So tonight we're going to do a George Harrison special. So we're going to do loads of songs by George Harrison and songs that George Harrison has sung, because some of them you'll find actually weren't written by him, but that's going to be part of the interest. We'll do that as we go along. Just before I say hi to everyone, just a couple of reminders. Try and have the live chat option open on YouTube if you can, because then you can comment along and say hello to everyone. And I love that we've got this little community going, which is absolutely fantastic. Couple of admin things to tell you about. First one is an upcoming session that we've got this Wednesday. So this is the first live lesson that I'll have in 2023. It's going to be this Wednesday at 3:30 UK time. We're going to have a look at this lovely kind of alternating thumb technique. Don't worry, I'll have a high G on Wednesday, but where you can take this lovely kind of background alternating thumb, and then we'll put these lovely melody notes. And I'm going to teach you one of my original pieces, a piece called Pendulum, and you can download all of the sheets. All the details are on there if you just go to my YouTube channel and follow the link. It's also all on Facebook as well. And that was my other reminder, just to tell you that, just to remind you if you haven't already joined, most of you have already, that I've got a Facebook group called Students Hangout, which is for all my ukulele students, whether they be on YouTube or in person or remotely via Skype. We all join in, sharing videos, ideas, asking questions, and all sorts of bits and bobs. So have a look on there as well. Perhaps you could perform some of the songs we've done tonight. It's always good. And it's really welcoming and warm. There's never any pressure. You only have to post as little or as much as you want, and it's here to encourage everyone to enjoy themselves. I'm just going to have a quick flick through some of your comments, and then I'll explain how Kanikapila works, and perhaps we'll do that by exploring the first song. I think will be a really good idea. So yeah. There we go. Oh, hi Jan. Jan's a first timer. I think Diana as well. So welcome. So remember, just do as little or as much as you want tonight. There's never any pressure, and the only person that can hear you is you. So if you go wrong, doesn't matter one bit. I go wrong and everyone can hear me, unfortunately. But hopefully that just makes you feel better about everything. That's the idea anyway, I promise. Hi Karen, so great to see you again. Happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas. John, hi mate. Hope you're keeping well up there, Worcestershire. Hope it's all good. Esther's asking if you've seen the new ukes. We've got a hive and a co-low in today, so it's all happening. So thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Happy New Year. Hi Robin. Thanks everyone. Oh, and another new recruit. Oh, Devon. I used to live down in Devon. I lived in Exeter for about 7 years and absolutely loved it. We still go down there every year on holiday, but I do miss it. I love Devon. Hi Margaret. Great to have you back. Hi Indrani. Good to see you in the new year. Thanks for all your help with Facebook over Christmas, and that goes to Karen and Esther too, obviously as well. Thank you. And yeah, I've shorn my hair. It's my annual haircut. It only ever happens once a year. I'm too lazy. I'm not. You wouldn't believe it because I'm always chatting away on here, but I'm not that brilliant at small talk when it comes to hairdressers. It always makes me really nervous, so I hate going and have my hair cut, so I haven't done it in a while. Hi Peter, hi mate, hi Val, hope you're all doing well. Yeah, Jan and a Reiki visitor too as well. New first timers, absolutely brilliant. So I'll talk you through how it all works in just a minute. So brilliant. Hi Steve. I love your name as well, C6 Steve. That's so clever. It's not lost on me. That's absolutely great. Oh, thank you, Jean. So Reiki visitor is Jean, everyone. So everyone say hello to Jean. Hi Mike, hope you're doing well. Fantastic. Yeah, you're always welcome. Okay, what we'll do, keep the comments coming because you can always say hello to each other and have a little chat in the comments section as well. But what I'll do is I'll perhaps bring up our first new song, our first of 2023. How mad is that? And I'll explain how Kanikapila works and how the chords work, and we'll have a look at this first one. Here we go. Oh, just whilst I'm loading this up, if any of the regulars could let me know if the sound's working all right, that'd be fantastic. I haven't tested it in this new year. It's worked okay for the lessons, so fingers crossed it'll be all right. Hi Richard, hope you're keeping well. So let's have a look at our first song then for tonight. And this is really interesting. This first song that we're going to do wasn't actually written by George Harrison, but I think of it as a George Harrison song. I guess because he included a version on All Things Must Pass, which was, his absolute classic album, wasn't it? His first after the breakup of the Beatles. And so I kind of think of this as a George song, but it was actually written by Bob Dylan. Just checking on the date I've written on my sheet, 1970, this one. So during the breakup of the Beatles, Bob Dylan invited George to play on a version of this, and it got all these rumours going about the split up of the Beatles, whether it was imminent and not, and eventually obviously it was, and it happened. But there's a solo Bob Dylan version on his album New Morning, which is it's a brilliant album. And then he invited George to go and do a session with him, which he did. And then George included his own solo version on All Things Must Pass. So this is a Bob song, but for George. And, I still think of it as a George Harrison one. And I was super lucky to play this at the Cavern Club in Bristol? Not in Bristol, in Liverpool. Which obviously is a place where George would have played with the Beatles back in the day. So if Steve's here tonight, I'm not sure if he is. I think he is. Oh, my mum's here as well. Hi, Mum. This one's for you, Steve, if you are there. So we got to perform this on stage at the Cavern Club, and it was really, really magical. Steve runs a really great ukulele school and shop up in Washington. Not the one in the States, the one up near Newcastle. So, all right. How does this all work then? So we have these sheets. You can download these. There's a link in the description if you haven't done already, but I'll keep them up on screen so you can see them as well. And we have these things called Nashville numbers. I know some of you already know this, but it's good to go through it anyway, isn't it, with the chords? And Nashville numbers were ways to help people play in any key. So rather than thinking of chords as like C, F, A minor, G7, whatever it is, we come up with these numbers which relate to pitches of a scale. So in a key, for instance, this one. Oh, you are there, aren't you? Steve, I didn't realise that was you, Steve. I thought that was another Steve. Great, you are here. Oh, this one's for you, mate. Fantastic. So this one's in the key of G. So what we do is we think of G as the one chord, and then we can count up from there. So G, A would be the 2 chord, and the 2 chord is normally a minor. Don't worry about why for now. B would be a 3 chord, that's normally a minor. C, the 4 chord, and D, the 5 chord. So when it says 1, 5, 4, as it does in the first line, that means we have a G, because that's the first chord in the key of G. Just going to tune my low G, it's going out a bit. Then we have a D, because if we count up from G, G, A, B, C, D, that makes D the 5 chord. And then finally we have 4, G, A, B, C. C is the 4 chord. And if they're an undercase, they're a minor chord. If they're an uppercase, they're a major chord. If they're a 7th or whatever it's written in. Okay? It's as simple as that. So the first line, we have a G chord. That's a home chord. The one chord makes you feel really at home, sets you off on your journey, and it feels resolved whenever we hit it. Then we've got the 5 chord, which creates tension. That's what the 5 chord does in any key. That's just a D major like this. Let me come into close cam for you so you can see it up close. Come on, close cam. There we go, it's woken up. And then finally we have a C. Okay. Now notice we've got that 3 times. Now the timing of this one is ever so slightly awkward. We've got 3 beats of G, 1, 2, 3, 2 of D, and then we have a whole measure of C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes the first line sound like this. G, 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 D, C. We do it again. G, 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 D, C. We do it one more time. G, 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 D, C. Then we've got the 2 chord. In the key of G, the 2 chord is A minor. These numbers, in any key, you'll find that the 1 chord is a major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, and 7 is a weird one called a diminished. We're not going to worry about that. We do actually come across one of those in the final song, but we're not going to worry about that for now. So the 2 chord in the key of G is G, A, it's A minor. Simple as that. And this is brilliant because if we played this in another key, we could still do this. We could work out the chords just by counting on our fingers or in our heads. And that's what I want. Eventually I want you to be able to play this stuff without the sheet music. Okay, so next thing we have is A minor. For 2 measures, that's just 2 lots of 4. Okay. And then finally, to finish off, we're back to G, D, C. And all I'm doing is strumming with a gentle swing up and down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like that. If we put that with the chords, 1, 2, 3, D, C. We do it again. 1, 2, 3, D, C. Do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, D, C. Then A minor. And then we're back to it. G, 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 D, C. Thanks, Jackie. G, 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 D, C. So if we wanted, for instance, to try a verse, it would sound something like this. Let's do it. I'll stay here so you can see my fingers change. If not for you, babe, I couldn't even find the door. I couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue. If not for you. Let me do 2 more of those. To the top. Okay, that's the verses. Really is that simple on the verse. It's a quick change, isn't it, that G to the D, which is a little bit tricky, but with a bit of practice you can get that, guys. So that's the verses. Sometimes that final line I'll only do 2 or 1 of those. Just watch my changes, you'll soon pick it up. Let's go through the B section then, if we like, the chorus. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, this one with a bit of practice. So we've got a measure of C, a measure of G, that's the 1 chord, a measure of D, and a measure of G. Let me, the sound's saturating a bit, that's right, let me bring it down a little bit. I'll just take the mic off a little bit. You might have to turn up your volumes, guys, if it's going too low, but hopefully it'll stop it kind of oversaturating. Okay. So this chorus, I wanted to point out a couple of really crucial things that will help you to be able to play this stuff by ear eventually. Whenever we start a new section, one of the most common chords to use is the 4 chord in the key of G, G, A, B, C. That chord, you'll know that I often call the change chord. And when we come to a new section, that's one of the most common ones to come up. So the C gives us a bit of change. If not for you, we resolve back to the 1 chord, the sky would fall. We add tension with the 5 chord. Where are we? Rain would gather. And then we go back to G again. 2. Then we have a similar thing, back to the 4 chord again. Not for you. Without your love I'd be. Resolves to G. Nothing at all. Then we have an unusual chord. Normally the 2 chord in the key of G is A minor. But we've got an A7. This is just to really create a sense of drama, an A7 chord. Okay. So that one we have 2 measures. Now this last bit that looks a little bit complex, if you want, you can just play a D for 2 measures. Okay. That creates the sense of drama at the end of the chorus that makes you want to go back to the start. If you're feeling fancy pants, we've got some fancy chords that we can stick in here if you want to have a go. Alright, let me just, apparently a couple of people are getting buzzes. Let me just take that down a little bit more, see if that helps. There we go. Can anyone else let me know if you're getting buzz from the ukulele? Hopefully that should have helped. Okay guys, so if you want to do the fancy pants chords on the last bit, you can play D for 2, D7 for 2, B minor 7. Sounds like a hard chord, but all we do is bar across the whole of the 2nd fret. And then we take it off for A minor 7. Okay, let's see. I wonder if I could take it down even more. I might just move the mic away from me, do it old school. Wonder if that would help. Let's try that. See whether that's better. Move things around a little bit. There we go. How's that, guys? Hopefully that might be a little bit better. Otherwise, I might just have to pick a quieter uke. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Okay, so let me just go through those again, the last 4. So we'd have D, D7, B minor 7, just bar that 2nd fret, and then off for A minor 7, everyone's favourite chord. Okay, let's try the bridge then all together, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G, D, G, C, G, A7, 2 of those, and then D. Okay, you can stay on there or you can do the fancy pants. Okay, so let me think. Oh, we're still buffering. Let's see if I can take that down even further. This is going to go really low now. Let's try that. Okay, hopefully that should really make a difference now because that's super low. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. All right then, let's try that with the vocals then, everyone. So you don't have to sing along, you can just strum along. 1, 2, 3, 4. If not for you. Oh, sorry guys, I wasn't looking at the right words. 2, 3, 4. If not for you, my sky would fall. Rain would gather too. Without your love I'd be nothing at all. I'd be lost if not for you. Okay, yeah, cool. And apparently it sounds a bit better now, so that's good. That's good. Fantastic. Okay, let's try a whole verse and a chorus, and then I'll teach you a little bit of how to solo on this one, and then we'll put it all together. Alright, so let's try a verse and then into the bridge, otherwise known as the chorus. Both means the same thing, really. Alright, so get your G's, D's and C's ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D, C. And again. G, D, apparently, I'm so sorry, guys. Apparently, the uke's still going. Oh, I can't think what this could be, really. It's topping out. I wonder. It's so strange. I wonder whether it's just because it's so loud. Let me try another uke. Sorry, guys. Bear with me a tick. Let's see. Okay. I've tried a comb out, and that might be a little bit quieter. Is it okay with my speech? So when I talk, is it not topping out? I wonder whether it's because it's got quite a lot of volume, that ukulele. Let's see if this one's a bit better. Okay, I reckon this one might do the job. I'm going to presume that one's working better. I'm just going to have positivity and believe it. And let's have a run through of the verse and a chorus. I'll just play through the verse instrumentally just to get us going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry guys, I don't know what's happening tonight. It's not working, is it? Trying to think of something else I could do. Let's see. I've got that down. Sorry guys, if you bear with me, we will get it sorted out. Let me just see if I can see what's happening with the mic. Might have to go to the built-in mic. Let's see. It's just mute back again. Let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. It's strange because it's I can't think what else has happened to it really. Voice is fine now. Sounding okay to Robin. Yeah, just go for all the ukes. So let's see, what else could I do? Let's see whether that's any better. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if that's working. Do a little bit of uke. Sounding better for the voice. How's the uke? Still buzzing. Can't think what I could do. Let's try just yeah. Let's try built-in microphone. That works. How about this, guys? This is just the built-in mic for YouTube. Is that any better? Maxing out mic gain. It's weird. I haven't changed. Yeah. Speech is better. Sound levels. Still buzzing. What could I do? Let's see. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I just can't think why it's built-in sounds good now. Okay, right. I think we might be there with the delay. Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to crack on because hopefully we might have lost a few people thinking, oh my goodness, I'm fed up of that. But okay, looks like we might be there. We'll just go with the built-in one. Hopefully that one will work okay. Cool. Thanks, Val. Thanks, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. Oh my goodness, what a palaver. Okay, one more thing to show you then, and then we'll put this whole thing together. And that's a little bit of soloing that we can do on this one. So we're in the key of G, so the really obvious thing to do with this one would be some kind of G major scale. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the G pentatonic. And let's have a look. This is in the back. So here we are. So G major pentatonic. So this one, for the G major pentatonic, we're going to start on the C string here at the 7th fret, okay? And then we're going to go up 2 to the 9th fret. We're going to come down to the 7th fret of the E string. We're going to go to the 7th fret, 10th fret of the E string, 7th here, and then 10th here. Okay, so we've got 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. Okay, just try to turn it up a little bit because it's gone a bit too quiet. Some people won't go too crazy because I think it's working with this one. Okay, great. So that's your major pentatonic scale. If you want to have a go at a little bit of soloing on this one, and I think what we'll do is we'll put the solo after the 3rd verse. Okay, so we've got verse, verse, bridge, verse. We'll stick a solo in there. You can have a little noodle around on the pentatonic. If you're not sure, don't worry, just keep strumming the chords, and then we'll do another bridge and verse. Should we give it a go, guys? Let's get playing. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. It's taken too long tonight, hasn't it, for all this, with all the malarkey going on. So let's just take us back to the song, and we'll put it all together. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it should be a lot better now. Esther saying bingo, so hopefully we've got there. Oh my goodness, thank you so much everyone for putting up with me. I really appreciate it. There we go. Okay, here we go. Everyone ready? Let's get those GDCs going. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do one of these verses instrumentally. If not for you, babe, I couldn't even find the door. I couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue. If not for you. Couple more of those. If not for you, babe, the night would see me wide awake. The day would surely have to break. It would not be you. If not for you. Then the bridge. If not for you, my sky would fall. The rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nothing at all. I'd be lost without you. Just hit those GDCs. Here we go. If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. I couldn't hear a robin sing. I just wouldn't have a clue. If not for you. Let's take a solo now, guys. Just keep playing the chords to the verse. I'll try that pentatonic over the top. A minor for anyone strumming. Then we're back to it. G. Now let's do a chorus. If not for you, the sky would Without your love I'd be nowhere at all, I'd be lost if not for you. If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. I couldn't hear a robin sing. I wouldn't have a clue. If not for you, if not for you, if not for... We need that one chord to feel resolved. You. There we go, everyone. I'll tell you what, Steve, if you're still there, that was a whole lot less stressful at the cavern with all those people watching. We didn't have any sound problems. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. So there you go. You can see how it works there, though. Now we've finally got going. That we can think of those chords as numbers, or we can think of, we always put the chord letters in the bottom as well. Do you know what, Peter, I was so tempted to sing If Not For You. It's so tempting, isn't it? So we got there in the end. Well done, everyone. Just to prove that those Nashville numbers work. Thanks, Lisa. Glad it's going. There we go. So thanks, Mike. So just to prove that those numbers work, say we wanted to play this in the key of C and we wanted to play the verse. Well, let's think about what those numbers would be. In the key of C, C would be 1, wouldn't it? And then 5, C, D, E, F, G would be G. And then 4, C, D, E, F would be F. So in the key of C, it would still work, but in a different key, and that's the magic. You could play this in the key of C just by using the numbers. If not for you, if not for you, babe, I wouldn't even find the door. It's like magic. And that's why this system is so great. The reason it's called Nashville Numbers is it was developed in Nashville. So at the Grand Ole Opry, people could have a scratch band get up and play behind them, singers, and they'd be able to say, this one's in the key of C, the chords are 1, 4 and 5, and then a band would just instantly be able to play along, which is kind of magic, right? It's just really, really cool. Oh, and by the way, can we all just appreciate Peter's amazing photo? And Peter, who is on here, it's just chatting away, he's a brilliant photographer. In fact, Peter did the photo for my last album, Pale Pale Moon. I love one of his photos so much, I asked if I could use it as my album cover, and he let me. And we've got a beautiful robin there that Esther, who helps me do these worksheets, she makes them look beautiful, has put in there. So thanks, Peter, for letting us use that, and thanks, Esther, for all your help with the worksheets. Right, let's dive into another, seeing as we're actually there. Now, this one looks really scary. When you see it the first time, you might think, oh my goodness, look at all those chords. But actually, it's probably one of the easiest tonight once I show you a few hints and tips to help you. It's not too bad at all, this one. So I'll have a look at My Sweet Lord next. Now, this one was written by George Harrison, and this was written really for kind of Hare Krishna. He was really into Hare Krishna, and obviously went to the Maharishi out in India. But he also kind of creates, he includes some kind of secular lyrics and stuff. So it's quite interesting, this song, what's going on. Now, this one's in the key of F now. So F is going to be our 1 chord, okay? Then the next most common chord that happens in this song is G minor. And remember I told you that in any key, the second chord tends to be a minor. Well, that's what we've got here. F is our 1 chord, G minor is our 2 chord. Then if we keep counting up, we can have A minor, B flat, and C. C is our 5 chord. Now that's really cool. If you look at the verses to this, I'll bring it up real close and then I'll zoom out again in a minute. The choruses are literally just the 2 chord followed by the 5 chord. That's one of the most common progressions to happen in all of music. Happens loads in jazz, doesn't it? You've probably heard of these 2-5-1 combinations. So yeah, this one we're going to start with just the 2 and the 5 chord, G minor and C. Yeah, sure, Ben. I'll try and get a magic fluke out later if I get a chance. I'll pull one out at the end if I don't get a chance beforehand. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so here we go. Let's come in on the close cam here. Let's just see if I can get it even closer. Actually, let's do it on this one. Be better. This is our G minor. Not too difficult to do once you get used to it. From nose to toes, it's 0, 2, 3, 1 over here. If you find it difficult to do it first, think C7, then we have this finger up here as if we're doing an F shape, and this finger here. I kind of think of it sometimes like an F7 chord moved down. Okay, that's your G minor. Now we have that for 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as that, and I'm just strumming up and down here. Then we go to the 5, G minor, C, G minor, C. That's it for the verse. Practice playing along with me. My sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord. And then in the verse we go finally to the 1 chord. It's like all of those 5 and 1s finally resolve to the 1 chord. That's what they want to do. A 2-5 progression always wants to resolve to the 1. And a 1 in the key of F is nice and easy. It's F. And then to add a touch of melancholy, to add a little bit of minor chord in here, we go to D minor. And that's nice because if you think about it, F to D minor, we just have to add this 1 finger here, don't we, on this D note. We do that twice, another F, then we have A diminished 7. Now this is a tough one, alright? If you're a beginner, I give you permission to leave this one out. Just pause on it and then come back in on the next bit. But let me show you how to play this diminished in an easier, well, how to play it, how to get to it in an easier way. The way I think about these diminished 7th chords is it's like we've taken a G shape, just a bog standard ordinary G. We've taken all of those fingers up towards our nose, so instead of playing a G here, we've moved every finger up a string. And then we pop our little finger down here, where you would play a C chord on this C note, 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, let me show you that again. So it's like a G chord moved up towards my nose, little finger comes down on there. Now, what I tend to do, because we're coming at it from a D minor, I actually tend to get my little finger down first, and then I swap these round into a G shape, okay? But like I say, it's quite tricky, so I give you permission to kind of just leave that one out if you really struggle with it. But give it a try if you can, okay? So that makes the verses, I really want to see you, I really want to be with you, I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long. And then we just go back to the verse. My Lord, my Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord. Another verse. I really want to know you, I really want to know you, I really want to show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. Just keeps going between those two, just like that, over and over. So not too bad once you get the hang of this one. It's really sweet, but it just keeps going round and round like that. Now this one has something interesting happening because we have a key change. This gives us a real good chance to practice our Nashville numbers. Okay, so first of all, let's just have a look. This happens on verse 3. So if you're following on your sheets here, you can see verse 3. I've circled mine just so I can see it coming. This is where we have a change in the chords. But if you're just playing along to the video or you're just following along, I'll tell you when we get there anyway. All right, so in verse 3, we change keys, and we do that in quite a clever way. We play the 1 chord, we turn the 1 chord into a 7th. You just got to put this finger down here. Then we go to a D7 chord. You can either do this one, or you could do the Hawaiian D7. Either of those is absolutely fine, whichever you find easiest, honestly. Okay, I like this one. Now, the D7 chord is super clever and important because now we've changed to the key of G. And in the key of G, a D7 chord is the 5 chord, G, A, B, C, D. So it's desperate to resolve to G. So it's a real clever way of kind of changing keys at this moment. We're in F. Let's just sing this bit. I really want to see you at the 7th. Really want to see you. And then the D7. I really want to see you, Lord. And that gives us our G chord. So that's our key change. That's going to happen in the 3rd verse. Okay. Now, after that, we just carry on doing everything we're doing before, but 2 steps higher, or you can think of it as a note higher if you prefer, okay, because we've gone up a key. So now in the key of G, the 2 chord is going to be A minor, G, A minor, right? If in F it was F, G minor, just think of it, we've gone up, G, A minor. So the chorus in the key of G, we do A minor. Now I like to use my first finger because then when I go to the D, I've just got to squeeze these 2 down. And the 5 chord in G is D, G, A, B, C, D. Easy as that. So the chorus when we go to the key change, A minor, D, A minor, D, A minor. And then the verses in G, we have the 1 chord, G. And then this time, the 6 chord is an E minor because G, A, B, C, D, E. It's as easy as that. We go to an E minor. Now this one's really cool because we can use my patented trick to change from G to G minor just by using our little finger here. So rather than changing from a G to an E minor like this, which you can do absolutely fine, it's a big movement, right? What you can do is just use this little finger on the 4th fret of the C string, okay? And if you think about it, this finger cancels out this one, so we have got an E minor. We're just playing it a lot easier. So the verse is in G. You can just change like that. How neat's that? And then finally we've got a B diminished 7. So, as if by magic, where are we? Indrani's read my mind because as if by magic, I was about to show you the B diminished 7, okay, the final chord. Now, diminished 7ths, there's only 3 of them in the whole world, okay? There's this one, there's this one, and there's this one. This is the one we were just doing, wasn't it? So the B diminished 7 is exactly what we just did for the other diminished 7, but brought back a fret. Okay, so this one is our A diminished 7. This one's our B diminished 7. Okay. So same thing applies. You can just think of it like a G shape moved up. This time we've got to take it over, little finger down. All right, that comes up at the end of the final verse, okay, in the key of G. So let's see if we can piece that all together. I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about soloing later on because there's a couple of things I want to show you. Yeah, no, I will show you now because then we can piece it all together. I think it would be good. If you fancy soloing on this one, you're going to use that G minor G pentatonic again. So let me show you just a recap if you want to solo away on this one, because we're going to solo in the second half when we're in the key of G. All right, we're going to do it after the fourth chorus. I'll tell you when it's coming up. So just a reminder, dentures in, G major pentatonic is 7, 9 on the C string. Notice the pattern, 7, 10 on the E string, 7, 10 on the A string. Let me do that again. 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. Okay. So I could just, I've got a backing track here. Hopefully this won't ruin the mic or anything, but and hopefully you'll hear it. But I could just, where are we? My sweet Lord. If I play the backing track, any of those notes. Any of those notes in any order would sound really nice. Notice we can also use the E minor pentatonic, okay? This is in the back of your sheets. Now the E minor pentatonic is a similar shape where we've got a big gap at the start. So we're going to do, 4 up to 7. Little gap starting from 5 to 7. 5, 7. Okay, so I'll do that again. 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. And I like to pair them up. G major, E minor. They're actually all the same notes, just in a different order, believe it or not. G major pentatonic and E minor. Now this is only for those that are a bit more confident and they feel up for it. What I like to do is when we get to the chorus, let me just see which one I've got first, whether it's G minor or C. It's G to E. So what I like to do on the bit of the song where we're playing G to E minor, because it's got a more majory sound, I'll use the G major pentatonic. Have a listen. Again, I'll keep it simple. Now this bit where it goes to the A minor to D minor, that's when I like to use the E minor because it sounds more melancholy. And then maybe go back to G. And that's one way, guys, where you can use pentatonics to create a change in feel. You can use a major pentatonic to create a more upbeat feel, and then when the song sounds a bit more minory, you can use the relative minor pentatonic. All right. So just for those that are a bit more confident, you can have an experiment with that, and we'll put that in after the chorus, after verse 4. All right, where it says instrumental break, we'll do a little instrumental break. But if you're not sure, just keep strumming along with me. All right, and we'll piece it together. So remember, first part is going to be G minor to C. And then when we go to the chorus, it's going to be F, D minor. Okay. Then when we get to verse 3, I'll warn you when we get there. That's when we've got the key change. F, F7, D7, G. And then when we get to the chorus of those bits, it's just A minor, D. If you're not sure, just follow my fingers. I'll keep them really close to screen. And then verses in that, G, E minor. You can do this, I reckon. Let's give it a go. Let's go nice and slow. What I might just do is a verse and a chorus, just to get us going, just to get us warmed up. I'll stay here so you can follow me. So G minor, C to start off with. G minor, C, G minor, C. Okay. 2, 5, and then the 1 chord, F, 6, F, then the tough bit, back to G minor C. My Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. Then F, I really wanna see you, I really wanna see you, I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes too long, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord. I really wanna know you, I really wanna go with you, I really wanna show you, Lord, but it won't take long, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. After this bit, guys, let's do the key change bit. So F, I really wanna see you. F7, I really wanna see you. D7, I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes too long. I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes too long, my Lord. A minor to D, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. G to E minor, I really wanna know you, I really wanna go with you, I really wanna show you, Lord, but it won't take long. A minor, my Lord, my Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord. G to E minor, take an instrumental break. A minor to D. Good, everyone. G to E minor. Here we go. Diminished. A minor to D. My Lord. Oh, my Lord. My sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you, Lord. I really wanna feel you, Lord, but it takes too long, my Lord, my Lord, oh my Lord. Just keep playing that out now. Oh my Lord, my sweet Lord, Krishna, Krishna, my Lord, Hare, Hare, Lord, Guru Brahma, oh my Lord, Guru Vishnu, my Lord. Let's do like a pretend fade out. My Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord. There we go. Really unusual song that, isn't it? Just going from that minor to the 2 chord. Quite exotic sounding. But you see, when you look at those Nashville numbers, it's not much going on in those verses. When you get the hang of the key change and which chord's which, really, really quite sweet that, isn't it? A lovely, lovely sweet song written there by George. Let's try a different tact altogether now then. Let's go proper poptastic, George, and I absolutely love this. Tim, if you're watching, this one's for you because I know Tim was really excited about doing this. Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Yes, we called you. Apologies about my singing, by the way. That one, the key, when it goes up the key change, it's like, oh my goodness, that's really, really hard to sing. But just goes to show, really. I could have transposed that down, and it would have been easy, wouldn't it? 2 to 5. Now you know how to do it. So if 2 to 5 in the key of F was G minor to C, we could have done it in the key of, let's see, could have done it in the key of C. 2 in the key of C would have been D minor, and 5 in the key of C would have been G. C, D, E, F, G. My sweet Lord. See how that works? It's like magic, and that's the beauty of it. That's why I really want you to have a go at learning this way. Now, if anyone found that a little bit exotic and hard to remember, this next one's really nice because the chords are dead simple, especially the verses. We're kind of in comfortable territory now, lots of C, Ds and Fs. There is a B flat, but I'm going to give you a couple of options on that to help out. So don't be put off from this one. And this one I thought would be really fun to do next in the sheets because those of you that are into your music knowledge or your pop culture, this song in the UK was the B-side to My Sweet Lord. So What Is Life was the B-side to My Sweet Lord. In America, this was its own single. It actually did really, really well. Me and Tim were talking before we started, and he's given me an update on the cooking. Brilliant, Tim. I can always smell it here. Drifting across the Pacific, across the whole of the USA and then the Atlantic to here. Tim's lucky enough to live on the island of Oahu. I was there in April and it was one of my most favourite places I've ever been to in the world. So, and he's cooking some lovely veggie soup over there on Oahu. So I'm quite jealous. I told him earlier I'm a vegetarian and I love veggie soup. So yeah, it's coming over. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Again, we'll think about Nashville numbers and we'll just have a think about it. If you've got any questions so far as well, because I got a little bit, whenever I get stressed out with sound problems, my natural reaction, and this is the worst thing to do, if you ever want to teach an instrument, don't do what I did. Whenever I get nervous and I get put off, I start going really, really fast. No, don't do it. The worst thing you can do, okay? I should have slowed down. That would be the better thing to do. But I haven't really taken a breather. So if anyone's got any questions with any of the songs that we've done so far, the first two, just ask them now and I'll do my best to help you. And know that at the end of the session, I always have a question and answer session as well at the end. So yeah, I might even get my ukulele back out now I know the sound's sorted and show you this is the one I made. So it's quite excited to show you that. I'll stick for this one for now because I know it's sounding okay. So this next song, we're in the key of C. And I love the key of C because we don't have any sharps or flats, so it makes the chords generally quite simple in the key of C. Okay, so if you think about it, in the key of C, if there's no sharps and flats, we can just count up from 1. The 1 chord is going to be C, right? That's the one that we feel kind of really relaxed on, right? Kind of feel at home on. Then we have the 5 chord. Let's just count up from C. C, D, E, F, G, right? So 5 higher than C is G, so our 5 chord is G. And I want you to start to remember the personalities of these chords. 1, you feel at home. G chord builds attention. And generally that's relieved by going back home again. I can show you now. If I just play a C chord, if I play a G chord, it kind of asks a question that is resolved by going home to C again. Now what we've got here is a little bit of delayed gratification because we have the 4 chord which just introduces a little bit of change. Okay. And the way this one is working, this one's a bit simpler than our first song. We've got 2 chords per measure, but they're both half a measure each. So 2 strums or 2 beats of C, 2 of G, 4 of F because it's a whole measure. And we do it again. C, G, F, C, G, F. We do that whole line twice. C, G, F. Now that's a large part of the song. All right, that's believe it or not, that's loads of it. So tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you? Now this song does something unusual here where it goes to a B flat. That B flat really belongs in the key of F, doesn't it? We shouldn't have it in the key of C, but the Beatles were ones for breaking the rules because they used to make up their own music theory. But they kind of believed in something. Paul McCartney talks about this quite a lot, that I believe in. If it sounds good and it feels good, it is good. And this B flat works. It just adds a question. It really does. So remember B flat, a couple of ways you can do it. You can either put 2 fingers across the bottom 2 strings of the first fret like this, reach over with our second finger up here and over with our third finger up here. Get that thumb on the back of the uke as much as you can. We want that nice circle. Can you see? We don't want it flat like this. Okay, want a nice circle so you can see air here. All right, that will allow you to press down here. The other thing that will help that greatly is if you angle these fingers. Can you see how mine are angled? They're not straight like this, which would kind of make it a really awkward position for me. They're angled, which means my arm can come out slightly. And then that arch that I was talking about, that means that these 2 fingers aren't going to collapse down onto the strings. That's one way of doing it. The other way you can do it is by barring the whole of the first fret. If you do it this way, remember you only really need to put pressure on these bottom 2 strings here because these ones are already covered, right? So there's no point squeezing across the whole fret because we don't need to. So really just push towards the bottom. A lot of people find that one easier, right? I think I'll probably do that one tonight. Now, if you absolutely struggle with this, again, permission not to play it if you're an absolute beginner, but to make it easier, what you could do is just don't worry about the bar. Just press the F note there, the first fret of the second string up. So it's like 3, 2, 1, and just strum towards the top. You'll get enough of a sound of a B flat there to carry it without the stress of having to bar. The other thing you could do is kind of the opposite of that, and just have this one, and this time strum towards the bottom 3 strings. You could also even just strum all 4 if you wanted a kind of G minor 7 sound, which is quite jazzy. This is the one I'm going to do, okay? And this is the bit that comes at the end of each chorus. By my side, and then we go to the 5. Let me put that together really slowly. I'll come back to normal angle so you can see what I'm doing up here. Okay, so C, G, F. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, F. C, G, F. 2 more of those. B flat. That builds the tension at the end. Let's do that again. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you? B flat, by my side. To G. That's it. That's all your choruses, okay? Now, if you want to, there's a little riff that you can do over this bit. Let me see if I can bring it up big. Again, this is only for the more advanced folks that feel more up to it. But if you want to, you can do this little. should we play over the top of the intro? If I do it, let me just play. Whoops, help if I play the right notes. Let me try that again. Okay, so it's just a really lovely little riff you can do. It's 3-2 off, which is CBA on the A string. And then a G note here, 3rd fret of the E string. Then we kind of come back through the scale from B, B, A, G, F. Okay, so C, B, A, G, B, A, G, F. 3, 2 off, 3, 2 off, 3, 1. And then we just do 2 more Fs. And then off up to here. Oh, Tim and Drani, if I ever get to Hawaii to do a retreat, I'd be the happiest man in the world. Tim, we might have to make that happen. That'd be fantastic. That'd be my dream. Yeah, we could have a road trip. All the Kanikapilas, you know, Kanikapila means it's an informal jam held in Hawaii. We could go over there and do it. Be amazing, wouldn't it? Okay. So if you fancy a go at the riff, you can do that over any of the chorus or the intros, guys. All right. So apparently everyone's coming to Hawaii. Brilliant. Hi, Eric. Hi, Andre. Fantastic. Ah, Living in the Material World. That's actually my favourite album, Andre. I love Living in the Material World. Absolutely brilliant. Okay then, guys. So let's have a look at the chorus bit next then. Actually, sorry, this is the verse. I've done it in reverse. Okay. Now this one's nice and easy. We start with a 1 chord, which is kind of quite likely to happen because it sets us off on a journey. What I know. Then we have the tension of the 5 chord, G. I can feel. Then we have an A minor, the 6 chord, C, D, E, F, G, A. And the 6th chord is almost always a minor. We have that unusual one as a B flat. We go to the 4 chord, just a bit of change. Now, if you want, for this next bit, you could just play G for a whole measure. Or if you're feeling fancy pants again, you could do G, swivel it to G7. Let me do that slowly and up close so you guys can follow me. Okay, so we have C, what I know. Then G, I can do. A minor, if I give my love. Now B flat to everyone, F like you. And then G, if you're feeling fancy, G7. Then we go again, right? But it's not love that you need. Then I'll try my best to make everything succeed. Okay, that takes us to the chorus bit. What is love without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Okay, fantastic. Right, so one more little thing if you want to, if you're feeling a bit more accomplished and you want to have a go at this. I'm just gonna those of you that are new to my Kanikapila, I introduce some kind of very simple scales each time just to get you trying to improvise. And sometimes these scales sound good when you only play a couple of notes from them. So don't feel you have to learn all of them straight away. Don't be overwhelmed by it. But if you fancy a little solo, and we're going to do this after the 2nd chorus, okay? After the 2nd chorus. What we're going to do is we're going to do the C major pentatonic scale. So pentatonics are just 5 notes and they're the 5 most harmonic notes in any scale. It takes out the 2 notes that clash with certain chords. That's the 4 and the 7 from a major scale. Don't sweat that, just know it's 5 notes and they all sound good over what we play. So with the C major pentatonic scale, you can either think of it as the C major scale down here without the 4th and 5th. What does that mean? It means we have C, D, 0, 2 on the C string, E, G, 0, 3 on the E string, 0, 3 on the A string, A, C. C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay. Interestingly, when you play that pentatonic scale up and down, it often reminds people of the Far East. Which is interesting because it is used in a lot of Far Eastern music. In fact, it's the only scale that has been used in all of the musics, all of the different cultures across the continents. Apart from Antarctica, because I don't think there was much culture unless you're a penguin back in the day. So it's really interesting. Every continent, it's been found through the ages that these pentatonic scales have been used because they're so versatile and they sound good. By the way, I just have to come back to Tim on this. What? You had Indian food in Devon? That's amazing. You went on honeymoon in Devon. Isn't it weird, Tim, how our lives are kind of like intertwined even though we live on separate continents? It's magic, you know. I lived in Devon, you live on Oahu, and oh, it's amazing. Absolutely love it. Okay then guys, so that's your C major pentatonic. Now the nice thing is, every major pentatonic has a minor pentatonic with all the same notes in it. And they're 6 higher, so C, D, E, F, G, A. The A minor pentatonic scale has all the same notes as the C major pentatonic, okay? And a cool thing about the A minor pentatonic is if we start it on the A string, it's an open A C note here. Some people have a dot on their ukulele on that fret. I don't on this one, but I do on my other. And all the other notes are your dots on that A string. We have A, 3rd fret is C, next dot is D, next dot is E, next dot is G, and the next dot is A. You can even go up to this one up here. That's really magical because it means if you don't want to do the C major pentatonic, if you don't know that, you could just play all the dots. Have a look, it's magical. How cool is that? I was literally just playing all the dots on the A string. So if you've never soloed before and you fancy giving it a go and you think, oh, I'm too scared, it's much too hard, just choose a few dots on your A string, maybe this one, and this one, and just solo with that. Sometimes 3 notes sounds great. So, you know, don't have to make it really complex. Just have a go. And it's a lovely thing. I think music, when it takes a little breath to have a solo, it makes it magically alive. And if you're at a Kanikapila session, Tim might have been to, if you're in Oahu, he'll tell you that some of the best bits in a Kanikapila session are where everyone just kicks back and people take it in turns to take little solos. It's really kind of brings music to life. So have a go if you want to on that one. Let's put it all together and we'll have a try. All right, guys. So remember, just C, G, F over and over till we get to that B flat and G. Okay. And again, I'm just doing a swing strum, not doing anything clever on this. You could just do down strums. Just take it nice and easy. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll do the intro, the first kind of lot of boxes. We'll do that as an intro as well. All right. The kind of the verse part, we'll do it as an intro. Chorus part even, sorry. I've put chorus and verse on the sheets. It's making my head get confused. So this first bit is actually the chorus, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, F. C, G, F. Sorry guys, it's not to the top, it's a verse next. Brain fart. Let's try that again. 2, 3, 4. C. Just follow me guys. I'll show you. C, G, C, G, F. One more of those. B flat. Now after this G, we want the first verse, okay? So next section down. What I feel, I can't say, but my love is for you any time of day. But if it's not love that you need, then I'll try my best to make everything succeed. Here comes our chorus. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Another verse. What I know I can do if I give my love now to everyone like you. But it's not love that you need, then I'll try my best to make everything succeed. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Let's do another chorus. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Let's take a solo. I'm going to do the chords to the chorus. C, G. Try that pentatonic, guys. You can do it. Nice instrumental break. If you're strumming B flat and a G, and we'll come back in on a verse. What I feel, I can't say, but my love is for you any time of day. But if it's not love that you need, then I'll try my best to make everything succeed. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Have one of those. Tell me what is life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? One more. Tell me what is my life without your love? Tell me who am I without you by my side? Well done, everyone. That's a cracking song, isn't it? I mean, just a great pop song. and so simple. Apart from those B flats, which I know they do throw some people. They're a little bit awkward, aren't they? But apart from that, it's not too bad, is it? That CFG, nice and doable, and that's what I love about a lot of this stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated to sound good. Poptastic. Just C, G, and F. Really, really nice and simple. Okay, next we're going to do one of my absolutely favourite George songs of all time. And this one's really interesting because this one isn't a George song either. This is fascinating because I've loved this song for ages and ages. I've got my mind set on you. It's 1980s George, and it takes me back. I remember hearing this at university. I was at university in the 90s, but it's a cheesy pop song, so it gets played a lot. And I was really into the Beatles growing up, but I hadn't really listened to a lot of their solo material. So when my friend told me this was George Harrison, I actually didn't believe him because it just sounded so un-George-like. It's just like so poptastic. So that was kind of fascinating enough already, and then I got into it, and the video of this, you've got to YouTube it. It's just absolutely brilliant. Just George sat in an armchair in an old country house, and the clock starts tilting in time to the music. And there's a stunt double, but he actually gets up and does somersaults in the middle of the song. It's just great. Love to look it up. But anyway, so at first I didn't realise it was a George Harrison song. Became a massive fan of George's solo material a bit later in life, in my 30s. So then, obviously, I realised, linked it in with George and, from the 1980s album and everything. But it's not a George song either. What? This one was actually written in 1931. Now, I don't know it's off the top of my head, so I'm checking my sheet to make sure I've got the name right. Yeah. So it's written by a guy called Rudy Clark. And then the version that everyone knew from the 30s was by a guy called James Ray. Now, if you haven't heard it, I really urge you to have a listen on YouTube. Not now, wait until we finished. Because the original version is really delightful. It's got like gorgeous jazz trumpet on it. It's got like an upbeat feel. To my ears, it almost sounds like Motown 30 years before Motown existed. I just think it's great. So if you get a chance, look up the James Ray version. But the George version is magnificent as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful pop song, really simple. Now, I'll go through the chords to the chorus in a minute, the bit that everyone knows. I got my mind set. Sorry, let me get my key. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. That bit. I'll go through that bit in a minute. But I just wanted to show you the chords in the verses because they're so easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's great. And we're in the key of C again. And you can see that the chords follow a really similar structure to things we've been looking at before. We've got that good old 1, 4, 5 again. The three most common chords in any key, 1, the 4 and the 5. 1 is home, 4 is change, 5 is tension. And we've got that again. And just the playoff between those three chords. A lot of blues music for, almost a century was just those three chords because there's so much you can do with those three chords. This time we have them just in a different order. We have 1, which sets us off. We have 4, which is F, C, D, E, F, which is your change. And then we have 5 for a bit of tension. All right, so the bridge bit just goes C, F, G. And we have 2 C's, 1, 2, 2 F's, 1, 2. They each get half a box or half a measure each, 4 G's. It's one of the most common chord progressions of all time. You might know it from la la bum ba, la la bum, ara bara bari bum ba, whatever it is. I can't remember the words. But what really, really common. And this bit is gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. Just that round and round. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, Joe. It's gonna take and so forth. The only thing with this is it's really good to count it if you can, because it's 7 of those patterns. 7. Normally we have 8, don't we? Or 4 when we do patterns, but we've got 7 here. And after 7 of those, don't worry, again, I'll give you a warning where it changes. We have C to F, 2 beats of each, just again and again for 3 measures like this. To do it, 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 to do it. And then we finish with just C, right, child? That's it. That's the verse. It's really, really simple. Then that's the bridge. Sorry, the bridge. That's the bit with it's going to take time and all that. Now the verses are even more simple. The verses are just C for 4, F for 4, C for 4, home, change, home, change, home, change, home. And then we have a G7 at the end. And that's the 5 chord, the tension chord. By turning it into a G7 rather than a G major, it's even more unresolved. It's like a giant cliffhanger, right? So that asks the question, and that will quite often come at the end of a verse. All right, it's really common to get the 5 chord at the end of a verse. So that bit's really easy. That's a bit that comes after a couple of verses and a couple of bridges and chorus, and it just goes like this. This time I know it's for real, the feeling that I feel. I know if I can put my mind to it, I know that I can really do it. Sorry, I know that if I can put my mind to it, I know I can really do it. That G7 at the end. All right. So really easy peasy for that bit. Then we've got this beautiful chorus bit. Now these chords are slightly more unusual, but they're not too difficult once you get used to them. We have A minor to E7 to A minor. Now that's really unusual. That's just George being, not George, it's Rudy Clark doing something really unusual. So don't sweat the numbers on these. Just know it's A minor, E7, A minor. And then we go to chords that you would expect. C, G, C. Okay. 2 A minors if you're strumming. 1, 2, 2 E7s. And then 4 A minors. 2 C's, 2 G's, 4 C's. So that will sound like, I've got my mind set on you. 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 Okay, not too bad, right? Now, notice there's a little NC mark on the every other measure there. Now, what you can do is you can just chuck that A minor after the first beat, or something like this. Same on this C. You might think, what? I don't know how to chuck. I'll show you, it's really easy. All you do is after you've played the chord once, just introduce any fingers. It can be any fingers at all over the strings, and don't press. If you press, you'll get a chord. We don't want that, we want. So for instance, A minor, chucky, chucky, chuck. If I put that together with the bit before, A minor, chucky, chucky, chuck. Same with C, G, right? C, G, C, chucky, chucky, chuck. Now that just introduces like an element of groove to the chorus if you want, at speed. See how it kind of just adds a playful element. But if you're not sure, just strum. That's absolutely fine. Just keep strumming the chords and that will work just as well. Will sound really, really great. Just let me pause for a second because I realise I've been going super quick again. Just make sure you're all still with me. I'm determined to get these last 2 done before the before the end. So let's see, just check there's no important questions that I've missed or anything. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. If I don't see them, Esther's really good at bringing them to my attention. So yeah, don't worry. Cool. Yeah, it's a great song, isn't it? It's a lovely song, that last one. Some really nice parts in it, which is great. So yeah, just catching up on them. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, the video is super cool, isn't it? Cool. Oh, I've missed loads of comments here. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Tim's got amazing pop knowledge. This is why me and Tim get on so well. So Tim's saying apparently George bought the James Ray album of this song on his first trip to the US in 1963. So there we go, visiting with his sister even before the Beatles went over. That's amazing. That's really cool. So it probably was in his mind for a good 10 years before he decided to do a cover. Actually a bit longer. No, longer than that, because this was in the 80s. It's probably more than 20 years. Really, really cool. Thanks, Tim. Okay, let's give it a try. Now, if you want to do a little solo to this one, we're going to do it. This is quite a way through. I'll just kind of give you the nod when we get there. But we're going to do it after this verse here on the second half. Okay, so we've got chorus, bridge, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse. Then we'll do the solo, and then bridge and chorus. If you're not sure, just follow my fingers. It's easy and it looks, I promise. Apart from that chorus, once you get onto the verse, it's C, F's and G's, so it's not too bad, okay? So if you want to take a solo, it will be the A minor pentatonic again. And I think when I was mucking about with this earlier, I think it actually is the notes are actually that he sings are from the pentatonics. Yeah, so the notes he's coming up with. Not exactly, but just to give you an idea, they're based around that pentatonic scale. So have a little noodle when we get to that bit. Just give it your best. Oh yeah, just before I go on, yeah, that's a great suggestion. So if anyone struggles with the chuck on the chorus, just strum the first chord of that measure and let it rest. So got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. All right, that's a great suggestion, Karen, because it means everyone can have a go at putting that little gap in there, which is lovely. All right, let's give this a go. I'll just take a quick swig, because we've got one more, an absolute jazz classic to come. Another George favourite, but it's actually an old jazz one. So we've got lots more I want to squeeze in just before we go. Okay, should we give it a go then, guys? What we're going to do is we're going to open with the chorus. I'd like to do it instrumentally first, and then we'll sing the chorus, all right? Just to give us a bit of an intro. All right, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same again, but this time with the words. I got my mind set on you. 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 But it's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time. Here we go, to do it, 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 to do it right, child. I've got my mind set on you. 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 Now verse. And this time I know it's for real. The feeling that I feel I've got my mind set on you. 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 Rich, it's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time. Get ready to do it, 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 to do it right, child. I got my mind set on you. 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 Another verse. This time I know it's for real. The feelings that I feel, I know that if I put my mind to it, I know that I could really do it. Take a solo. 2, 3, 4. Hit those pentatonics. If anyone wants to strum, I'm just doing the chorus. Keep it going. Hit those dots on the A string. Go on, you can do it. When we come back in a sec, we'll do another bridge. It's gonna take money. Here we go. It's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take patience and time to do it, 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 to do it right. I got my mind set on you. 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 Keep going. I got my mind set on you. 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 Set on you. Set on you. Well done, everyone. Oh man, that is such an amazing poptastic song. I absolutely love it. And who'd have thought, like, written in 1931, it just kind of sounds like almost like a modern pop song. Yeah, I think it's cool. And it shows the power of the 1-4-5, right? 1, 4, 5, la la ba ba, using so many things. And again, power of those Nashville numbers. If I wanted to do this in the key of G, well, G would be 1, G, and then 4 would be G, A, B, C, and 5 would be D, G, A, B, C, D. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. So if you fancy some homework, maybe you could take this piece and you could try doing it in the key of G. That might be particularly useful. This is one of the rare keys that I actually can sing in okay. I actually find G too high, as you heard earlier. But for ladies, you might find that's completely the opposite. So if you're struggling to sing that as a lady and you find that it's difficult, it suits the male voice better, transpose it up to F or G and you'll find it easier to sing. So that could be your homework. Isn't it a great song? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Lisa. Fun. Thank you. It's just fab and just so much fun, isn't it? You've got to watch a video. I just absolutely love it. Oh, I know the Kermit version as well. Yeah. That's brilliant version again. Okay, just before we do the very last song, I'll just see if there's any questions or anything. I'll try and stay for a little bit at the end to ask any questions you might have as well. Um, Sorry I've gone a bit fast through everything tonight, but as I say, it kind of threw me losing that 10 minutes at the start. But thank you for sticking with me, and it's so nice to have everyone back again and chatting away and playing along and everything. So thanks everyone, it's really, really nice to see you all and be back to it. Oh, Bo's here. Hey Bo, how you doing? I couldn't play your guitar. I couldn't play your ukulele tonight, Bo. It's too loud, so I had to go for a Kahula. For some reason, the speakers are all going a bit funny tonight. Okay, so how you doing as well? I hope you had a good Christmas and stuff. I saw the skiing. Looks lush, totally lush. Okay, right then. So the last one is actually a jazz classic. And this uses one of the most common chord combinations of all time. It looks quite busy, but actually when you break it down, it's just the same 1-6-2-5 progression over and over. And I'll talk you through that in a minute, okay? So it's not too bad. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to tell you just before we do this. In the back of your sheets, we've got some great little teasers for you. So this all goes back to me when I learned ukulele about 25 years ago. I used to be a librarian and I used to do a song called Pants. Big pants, small pants, jive really big pants, do 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 do, 1, 2, 3, and so we got talking about this at one of the Kanikapilas, and we also did a song, Don't Fear the Reaper, with cowbell in and other things. So we've got some different little pictures that you can have looks through. So in your sheet somewhere, you'll find a cowbell, a Wellington boot. That's because I always say give it some welly, some pants and crackers, because there's that famous quote from George Harrison where he says everyone he knows that plays ukulele is crackers, so why don't you go and get yourself one, which I think is really, really sweet. Okay, so we've got a cracker as well. So see if you can find those hidden amongst the sheets. And then the other thing, this is something Esther's done for us, which is super kind with the sheets in the back. We've got some cool rebuses. Now, I won't tell you the answers, but maybe in the comments, ooh, it's getting a bit too big. Let me know if you managed to work them out. I've managed to get the pain one, the count one, and the pigs, but I haven't got the merry one yet. So, well, I'm exactly the same. That's the one I'm struggling with as well. So perhaps at the end, after this next question, to put you out of your misery, perhaps Esther could in the comments give us the answers. All right. So they're just little phrases that you'll find. So yeah. I think if this is a bit of a clue, I think I'm suffering from the first one. I've got a new chair and it's great because I can move about and spin around. I'm no longer on those 2 planks of wood, but it doesn't have much back support, so I've got a bit of the first one this evening. That'll be your clue. Okay, right, back to the Devil and Deep Blue Sea. So this is an absolute classic. This was written in I wrote it down somewhere, I think. I can't remember the exact date. 1931. Oh, I'm being daft. It wasn't the last one that was 1931. It was this one. I think last was 1961, which makes total sense now. But yeah, Harold Arlen, who was one of the great American songwriters of all time, wrote loads of what we consider classics in the Great American Songbook. And this song's been covered by like pretty much everyone in jazz. Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, Sinatra took a swing of it. Loads and loads and loads of people have had a go at this. But George recorded a version of this for his last album, but sadly passed away before that last album was released. There's a lovely video of him doing it live with his band in the studio. It's a really, really great one. So George was really keen into the ukulele, and he also loved trad jazz songs. So this was one that he covered, and his is brilliant. There's a video of him on ukulele on YouTube, and he's playing a 6-string Kamaka ukulele, and it sounds great as well. All right, so look that up. And yeah, so he kind of recorded the basics of this one, and he recorded the whole of his last album. And then he was attacked by that guy. Do you remember in his home in Esher, the guy who had psychological problems, tried to stab him, really severely weakened him. So when his cancer returned, sadly George passed away. But it kind of has a nice ending in terms of the music, because his son Darnie took all the work that he put into this last album and finished it. So his son Darnie plays and sings on it, and some of George's friends do as well. So it's a really nice story, you know, kind of sadness, sort of happiness out of the ashes. So let's have a look at it anyway. So this one, as I say, is a really classic jazz progression where we have 1, 6, 2, 5. What does that mean? Well, it just means in the key we have the first, the sixth, the second and the fifth chords in that order. Okay, so we're in the key of F for this one, just to add a bit of variety, so it's not all C and G. So F is 1, then we count up F, G, A, B flat in the key of F, don't worry about why, C, D. D is 6, and the 6th chord tends to be a minor, so we're going to play D minor. I like it as a D minor 7. You just need to add your little finger to the C note there of the A string, but you can just play a bog standard D minor if you find it easier. I'm just going to change the camera angle to the close-up one so I can come in close. There we go. Okay, so F is 1, D minor, you can just add that finger or add that one if you want to make it minor 7. Then we've got the 2, F, G, and remember I told you that the 2 in any key is a minor. This one we're playing as a G minor 7. So we do the bottom 2 strings with 1 bar, 1st fret, and we reach up and over to this note here. Okay, so F, D minor, or D minor 7, G minor 7, C7. And these sound really nice with just gentle down strums, because it gives us that feel of a jazz. Come on. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. Then we do another common thing in jazz, which is we go from the 1 chord, you've got me, to the 1 as a 7. That just means we turn the F into a 7. In between. And that's really lovely. It creates like a sense of tension from the 1 chord. You've got me in between. We go to a B flat, to a B flat minor 7, which again is not too bad, okay? It sounds like a tough sounding chord, doesn't it? B flat minor 7, but it's just barring the whole of the 1st fret. Then we just go to F, Devil and the C7, Deep Blue, back to F, C. And then right at the end we have a C7 there, just to kind of to add tension, because the 5 chord F, G, A, B flat, C adds tension. All right. Someone was just asking, yeah, don't mix up the B minor 7 and the B flat minor 7. B flat minor 7 here, B minor 7 here, because it does come in later on, the B minor 7, but we're doing the B flat one here. Let's go through that in slow motion from the top. I don't want you, and again, but I hate to lose you. Next slide. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Lovely classic chords, right? Then we go again for another verse. I forgive you because I can't forget you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. The second time we just rest on that F before we go to the next bit. All right. then we think of that as the verse, okay, if you like. The next bit you can think of as the bridge or the chorus, both meanings say the same. Yeah, Mike, isn't it just? I love a 1625, just absolutely gorgeous. Really lovely chords, aren't they? Just adding that sophistication. Well, I play this with a B flat minor 6. Yeah, George does the B flat minor 7, which is why I've gone to this, but I like a B flat minor 6 there, which is a classic part of that progression. Will's just come up with something interesting. When you do the B flat minor 7, if you want to do a B flat minor 6, just take it down a string. It just sounds great. You've got me in between. Rather than that one. That G just adds a little je ne sais quoi, doesn't it? It's really lovely. Yeah, I actually agree, Will. I like the minor 6. The devil and the deep blue sea. Okay, so the next section, we've got exactly the same thing happening, but we've actually modulated key. It's like, what? We've modulated to the key of A. So in A, we do exactly the same thing, but this time 1 is A, and then we can just count up to 6. A, B, C, C sharp, D, E, F sharp in the key of A. All right, so the 6th chord in the key of A is an F sharp minor. And then the 2 chord, A, B, a B minor 7 or a B minor. And then the 5 chord, A, B, C sharp, D, E, E7. I come in close for this because, again, these are chords that sound glorious but are actually not hard to do. We've got A here, 2, 1, 0, 0, from nose to toes. That just means from nose to toes, from the G string to the A string. Add that finger in there. That's all you need to do to turn an A into an F sharp minor. B minor 7, it's like a B flat minor 7, but 1 higher. That makes sense because we're taking a B flat and sharpening it, which would give you a B. And then finally we have an E7. Let's do that slowly all together. I want to cross you off my list. Then we do it again. But when you come knocking at my door. The next bit is something crazy. Again, this hurts with people's brains a bit, but it's another 1625, this time in the key of C. C, A minor, D minor or D minor 7, either's fine. G7. Another 165 in a different key, isn't that mad? And then finally, to finish it off, we have an E flat. This one's a little bit awkward. Index finger here, we stretch up with these 2 fingers to the 3rd fret. And then we finish with a G7 to a C7. The reason I've put a little note there, which says 5 of 5, it's just a common thing that happens in music. The reason we have this, it's often called a turnaround at the end of that, is that G7 is 5 above C7, C, D, E, F, G. So G7 is 5 above C7. So we call that the 5 of the 5 because C7 is 5 above F, which is in the verse. F, G, A, B flat, C7. So it's quite clever. That G7 to the C7 takes us back to an F. It's super clever. It's really lovely, isn't it? So the 5 of the 5 is G7 to C7. And then that takes us back to the verse. And literally, I know the chords are tough, but the structure is easy. It just goes from F to it just goes from the verse to the chorus to the verse to the chorus. And yeah, that's it. The 1625 is the I got rhythm. I got rhythm. I got music. It's often just known as the rhythm changes because people took Gershwin's I got rhythm and they used it for they stole it basically and used it for all these things. To be fair, George Gershwin didn't invent the 1625, he just popularised it. But yeah, we think of it as the I got rhythm chords. Loads of songs follow that one as well, which is cool. Okay, let's see if we can piece this one together. Should we try one really super slow playthrough and then we'll just go mad for the finale and just see if we can play it up to speed. So let's do one verse and one chorus nice and slow. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Actually, do you know what? Let's finish off. Let's play it all that slow because it gives people a little bit more chance. Okay, we'll take it really nice and slow. We'll play it that slow. If you want to take a solo, I was going to suggest using the F major pentatonic or the D minor pentatonic. If you do want to take a solo, we'll put it after verse 3. We've got it in there. Just ever so quickly. I know we're running a little bit late tonight. With this one, I like to show people how to fill in the gaps. So an F major pentatonic scale goes from 5/7 on the C string, that's F G, to 5/8 on the E string, that's A to C, to 5/8 on the A string, which is D to F. Now you know how you can think of that as a shape. Hopefully some of you start to recognise these shapes now. A nice thing to do is to fill in the gaps in between those shapes. And as long as you resolve it, as long as you spend a little bit more time on the correct notes, it sounds really nice. I'll show you what I mean just quickly. Here's just the shapes. That's just literally just playing the notes. But if I hit some of the notes in between those gaps, it can actually sound a lot nicer. See how I'm just filling in, literally, one after another. So have a little experiment as you do this, just filling in the gaps, and it can sound super fun. I don't know, I'm getting carried away now, just doing daft stuff. But yeah, have a little experiment with that, and we'll do that after verse 3. Let's give it a go. Come on, guys, one last playthrough. I know this is a tough one, but just give it your best. If you go wrong, doesn't matter. All right, here we go. Let's do the verse once as just as an intro. 2, 3, 4. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. I forgive you because I can't forget you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Next part. Wanna cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist, and I come running back for more. I should hate you, but I guess I love you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Take a solo, guys. Sorry, guys. I forgot what I was doing. Let's do another bridge. Want to cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist, and I keep running back for more. You should hate you, but I guess I love you. sea. Fab. Oh, that was really rushed, guys. Don't worry if you weren't able to keep up with that, because there's quite a lot going on there. But I noticed the time. We've got to 8 o'clock, and I need to shoot off. So normally I'd be gone by now, but I wanted to squeeze that in if we could. So I will stay for another 5-10 minutes just to see if there's any questions and see how you're all doing. So just let me know how you got on with that tonight. Sorry about the craziness at the start. Hopefully you'll kind of manage to get involved and enjoy it. So hopefully you might be able to hear my uke now as well. I don't want you, but I forgive you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. So this is, yeah, I think I might have showed you lot this before Christmas, but this was the one I finally finished before Christmas with the help of Phil Davidson, he's a brilliant builder down here. So it's spruce top, mahogany back and sides, and then if Tim's still there, this is the view that we had in Waikiki when we arrived at 3 o'clock in the morning, full moon on the sea. So there we go. Okay, I'll take a rest now and just see if there's any questions coming. I hope you all enjoyed that. Wasn't it good fun to get back into it? It was really, really nice. So yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Backing tracks are really great for playing along. It'll help you keep in time. So yes, it's definitely worth doing. Um, so you could either record yourself playing or you could watch this back and play along to me. A lot of these songs you can find versions without the lyrics on if you wanted to play along to. A particular good one, so like that jazz progression at the end there. F, D minus 7. There's lots of, because it's a really common jazz progression, 1-6-2-5, there's lots of backing tracks with that going. So you could have that playing, and that's what I've done on my iPad here. I've just done a backing track of those chords, and then so I just kind of play along. And I kind of, yeah, that's how I practice my solos. It's a really great way of doing it. So that's just literally, if anyone's got an iPad, that's just the voice recorder app on an iPad. You could do it on an old-fashioned tape recorder. Doesn't have to be an iPad. Would be perfectly fine. So it's the best way to practice. But those of you, some of you will already know this already, because we do a lot of the same pentatonic scales. We will introduce other scales later on. You'll get loads of practice. So every time you come back to Kanikapila, your fingers will get a bit more used to that scale, and you'll be able to kind of go for it, go a bit mad, which will be great. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Diana. I missed loads of your comments. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Tim. Thank you. Yeah, really happy with it, Will. There's always bits and pieces that I change, but that's it's yeah, I'm happy with it for sure. I was dead chuffed. Okay. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, guys. And don't forget, it's always late, isn't it, in Germany? Indrani's like ready to eat her arm off by the end of the session. I am too, Indrani. I'm a bit. I find by the time I get home, it's so late that I'm not hungry again. So I just have a bowl of cereal, the ever versatile bowl of cereal. You can eat them in the morning, eat them for lunch. So yeah. Let's have a look. An inbuilt looper. Oh, I don't know. I wonder if Lava do a uke like that. I know their guitars have that in, don't they? Could be quite useful. So and we've got the answers. Thank you, Esther. Back pain countdown. Merry go round. Merry, 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 of course. I was feeling quite pleased with myself that I got 3. Cool. So yeah. Yeah, really, really helpful to have those backing tracks, guys. So yeah. Oh yeah, thanks, Ben. Yes, my Forester Dean top. My wife bought me this for I think it's my birthday last year, and I absolutely love it. Originally with the ukes, I was going to do that kind of design on the headstock, but it was a bit tricky, so I went for an oak leaf instead in the end. But I love the forest and everything about it. So yeah, and apparently they plant 10 trees for every one of these bought. I can't remember who the company are, but so it's really great, all about kind of helping out the environment. So yeah. Oh, and we've got the answers to the cowbell and the welly as well that you can find. Fantastic. Crackers on the front page under my collar. Pants page 10. Love it. Fantastic. Peter, just depends on. I'll be honest, Peter. It depends how quickly Sarah can sew. I think she's doing a whole big batch of them, so I'm just waiting. So I don't think they've been sent yet from Hawaii. They could have done. Sometimes Sarah does surprise me, and I get a big box of them. But I will let you know as soon as they get here. Shouldn't be too much longer. I'll let you know. We've got some lovely new Sarah Maisel and Craig Chi ukulele straps coming in. Which would be fantastic. So yeah, I'll keep you posted, mate. Absolutely. So yeah. Thank you, everyone, for all your support. And I forgot to mention it, but if anyone wanted to send any virtual tips, I've got my PayPal link there where you can send me a tip by PayPal, or you can follow the links in the description. Where you can buy me a virtual cup of coffee or a virtual high five. And you guys have been so generous. Literally, I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for your kind donations. It really, really helps because I do this in place of physical lessons with actual people in the room. And you've been super kind the last few months. It's really kept me going. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've been trying to remember to send emails to thank everyone. So hopefully you might have been on some of the round robin ones. But if I missed you because you did it via YouTube or anything, know that I do receive all the donations and I'm really thankful. And it does keep me going and allows me to create some new content. Which reminds me, don't forget to come back on Wednesday for this little blighter, where we're going to have a look at this alternating thumb technique. This one sounds nice on a high G uke. We can do. We're going to do all this sort of stuff. Lovely way of playing melodies on the A string whilst training your thumb to have a lovely drone going in the background. So that's what we're going to be doing Wednesday, alternating thumb technique. That's going to be 3:30 and you can buy the music in advance. And it does have a full arrangement of one of my pieces, Pendulum. I think Esther kindly linked to it on Facebook earlier if you want to check it out in advance, the piece of music. It's on my last album, Pale Pale Moon, but for some reason I called it Willow. I think I got the songs mixed up. I do that all the time. So if you've got Pale Pale Moon, it's the song Willow. If not, it's called Pendulum. There's another song of mine called Willow. I was teaching Esther earlier, which has this kind of a different vibe to it. And I got them mixed up. The reason I called this Pendulum was because this reminded me of the pendulum in a grandfather clock. So yeah, but for some reason I forgot that when I was doing the album listing. So if you do have my album Bell Bell Moon, it's on there. Right then, guys, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, Tim, yeah, people can donate directly on YouTube if you want to. Tim did it earlier very kindly. You can do a little badge. It's in the links. You can do a little badge where you can send me a donation via YouTube as well. And as I said to Tim earlier, it all goes the same way, so it's all really, really gratefully appreciated. So thanks, guys. So yeah, thank you. Ah, good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa, your t-shirt's on the way. Hopefully won't be too much longer. Pesky Royal Mail were on strike before Christmas, but hopefully it's on an aeroplane somewhere between here and the United States, on its way to you. Or is it Canada? Well, the address was right, I swear. I just can't remember at the moment, Lisa. My brain's gone fried because it's the end of the evening. Okay. Well, see you next Monday, everyone. Remember, you can watch all of these back on my website, mattsteadukulele.com. All of everyone we've done so far, and there's tons of them now. You can watch back anytime. So if you want to look at any of the ones from before, and of course, you can play back tonight's video as well. You'll find it there, and you can watch it as many times as you like. All right. So yeah, fantastic. All right, guys. Well, take care, everyone, and I'll see you in a week, or perhaps on Wednesday for some of you that are doing the live lesson. Happy Ukin and much love. Bye, everyone.